Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to tonight's episode of Resellers, Rantin and Ravin on the BaldyPal channel. How's everybody doing tonight? Gary, how are you, my friend?
Yeah, I'm doing well, Adam. How about yourself?
Doing wonderful. Thank you so much. And Evan, what's up, buddy, from South Carolina?
Hanging in there. Hanging in there.
Yeah. I was thinking, I'm gonna buy you a present, Evan. It's gonna be a ring light, and that way we can see your face a little bit better on these shows.
Hey,
there you go. And I like your neon up there in the on the Clemson hat wall. That's pretty.
Sometimes
cool
I like to be hidden, you know.
No, not on the live. You don't.
You don't want to see this ugly face.
Sure we do. I appreciate y'all being the co-hosts with me tonight on the show. We've already got people up here in the chat. Thanks to the early birds, Jennifer Hayes. How are you? And Designs by Josie. How are you tonight, Josie? AM Pickers. I think that's a new name. Gary, have we seen AM Pickers before?
I haven't. No,
appreciate you coming out and hanging out. Dana Invest. How are you, buddy? Appreciate you coming out and hanging out with us tonight. Tonight, we're going to talk about customer feedback. And we all feel differently about customer feedback. I know we all have our own opinion, just like the customers have their opinions in the feedback, right? So it could be good. It could be bad. It could be nothing, right? It can mean nothing, absolutely zilch. So, Gary, real quick, give me like a 30-second spiel, yay or nay. How do you feel about customer feedback?
I think it used to matter. I think back in the day, whenever eBay was sort of, new, and it was, kind of this, you had to trust the other person a little bit more with what you had. I think it mattered more. Now, I don't think it matters as much because there's a lot more safeguards in place.
Yes, that's very true. I like your points. Evan, how do you feel about customer feedback?
Kind of the same way. I think, a lot of negative feedback certainly matters.
Yeah.
And then if you're a new seller, you definitely want to build up that feedback as fast as you can so you don't get so many scammers and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Then, of course, on Macari, feedback tremendously matters because that's how you get paid.
Yeah. That's a really good point, Evan. The building up your feedback. How do you personally feel about feedback when you go to buy an item off of eBay?
Honestly, I don't look that close. If there's a difference if I'm looking at two different items and there's a difference of $1 or $2 and somebody's got 1,200 feedback versus 100, I'll go ahead and spend the extra couple of dollars and order from the 1,200 guy.
Mm-hmm. Just makes you feel more comfortable, I guess.
A little bit, yeah.
Well, Gary, do you use customer feedback in a different manner whenever you go to make a purchase?
Yeah, I sort of have this sort of score that I'm willing to deal with, like a certain percentage of whatever that feedback is. And I'm speaking about eBay on this one. It's kind of like when you go to a restaurant, you look at the health score and you're like, all right, what am I willing to have this score at? I've got a threshold. And so for me, typically if somebody has like 97%, I'll probably still buy, but anything that starts to creep below that, I tend to shy away a little bit.
All right, so y'all keep that in mind as we have this conversation so that you can think of it from both sides of the perspective, all right? Both from the buyer and the seller's perspective. Before we move on, I want to say hey to a few people. We've got Unloaded Alls here. Appreciate you joining us tonight. And Kim from SSK Promo. What's up, buddy? Great supporter of the show. Thanks so much for coming out. And Jennifer has already started dropping links for everybody. Jennifer, you're the best, and I appreciate that so much. Y'all, go ahead, hit the like, hit the subscribe, all that good jazz for these guys on YouTube. And we all appreciate it. We truly do. We got our own channels, and they're awesome, and they're so much fun to bring stuff to you. Bama Pickin'. Oh, it jumped on me right there at Bama Pickin'. John from Bama Pickin'. Joni, that's a new name. How are you, Joni? Thanks for coming out and hanging out with us tonight. And the Hoogs are here as well. Appreciate you. Okay, so customer feedback from my perspective. I have a history in great customers in customer service, like whether I was working at the mall, whether I was working as a lifeguard. Believe it or not, customer service comes into play heavily if you're a lifeguard. So I've got it kind of ingrained in me to provide the best customer service, even if it means doing stuff that it shouldn't be expected of me to do. Right? Does that make sense? Like to go that extra mile, as they say. I want to ask you guys, have you ever had a situation, maybe in the past year or so, where you had a really odd request from a customer, but you didn't feel it was too far out of your way, but you decided to do it anyway? Anything like that come up recently where they asked you a weird question or they asked you something before they bought an item? Anything like that come up? Take it, either one of you.
I've had customers want to split things up, and if it's not too demanding or too out of the realm of possibility, I'll do that.
That's a
Like
good
a
one.
guy wanted a food processor without the blade. That's no big deal for me. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Okay.
Keep the blade, resell the blade all by itself as a part, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good deal. Did he ask for like a significantly weird discount because of it?
No, it was only a couple bucks.
Okay.
I didn't see where it was worth his trouble, but whatever.
Well, ends up helping you, a little bit too. Maybe you made a little bit of extra money with the blade just by itself, right?
That's right.
Big Thrift Philly's here. How are you, buddy? Thanks for joining us tonight, Big Thrift Philly. I don't think you have been in the show, so I appreciate you stopping by. I've took some snapshots from people who have put some complaints on Instagram and social medias and things like that. And I wanted to share them with the crowd and share them with you. And let's kind of like talk about them. Let's see, how would we react to them if it was us who got these type of things? And names are in here. Names are on here. I'll put that out there because I honestly felt like if they posted them with names on social media, then there was no fear for me sharing their name as well here. So I've got a few here I want to share. Let's see. Let's bring it up. There we go. All right. So there we go. All right. Now everybody can see everybody. So the first one says, I never received it and I was home all day. All they had to do was knock on the door. And when I realized it was not even 15 minutes and my package was, I'm assuming that word is supposed to be gone. So this is an actual piece of negative feedback that the buyer left on the seller's eBay page. Without reading the comment, the reply, because we'll get to that in a minute. Gary, what do you think about that feedback? Was that just, how do you feel about it?
I personally don't like this idea of shoot first, ask questions later when it comes to feedback from the customer itself. That's not how I operate. I always like to try to at least give the seller a chance to make it right. And in this case, it looks like, they're sort of firing out there what happened, what the situation was, but at no point have they referenced, that they contacted the seller or that a refund was offered or a refund was not offered or something like that. So again, I'm really skeptical about these types of people as to whether or not they're legit.
Yeah. Okay. So do you think this negative feedback was warranted or not?
I mean, here's the thing: a lot of people are going to act out of emotion. And
okay, hold on.
I'm sorry. Go.
Just yes or no. Reading
no.
that feedback as it is, just
No.
as they've written it, you think it's warranted or not?
I don't think it's warranted. No.
Okay.
In the grand scheme.
So, Evan, I'm going to ask you about the next one, but my thoughts on this one is one of my biggest pet peeves. And guys in the chat, if you've got a different opinion, please let us know and we'll read them out loud. I don't like the fact that people leave feedback based on something out of the control of the seller. This is seller feedback. This isn't USPS feedback. This isn't UPS feedback.
Yeah.
This isn't even supposed to be a review of the product that they purchased from you. And that's how I initially thought of this particular feedback as being completely unwarranted, because this is feedback based basically on the carrier. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep.
Dana Invest says correct answer is to message eBay for Business and they would remove the negative feedback. Once the seller responds via comment to the feedback, they will not remove it. Oh, I did not know that last part. Did you guys know about that last part?
I did not. Good tip,
Nope.
Dana.
Good tip, Dana. Thank you so much for sharing that. This seller did respond back, basically telling everybody who reads this that this is a scammer. They have no communication. They never tried to reach out, things of that nature. But it sounds like, based on Dana's comment, because they replied, they don't even get to ask for it to be reviewed and removed. So Thank you. That's a very, very helpful tip there. I appreciate that. Okay, so here's the next one. This is for you, Evan. Let's see here. Could you possibly do some type of gift wrap when you mail it out, please? That was talking about going above and beyond and things like that. And I think this person's actually in the chat tonight. Yeah, it's the Hoogs.
Yeah.
I got this from the Hoogs. So, Evan, what do you think? Would you have gone above and beyond on something like that based on this request?
I've actually sold that Giggling Miko before, and they didn't ask me to gift wrap it, fortunately. But a $26 item, free shipping, I might would put it in a little bag with some tissue paper or something. Just that's the former Disney employee in me.
Yeah.
I want to make customers happy. But, I mean, I don't know.
Hoogs, you're in the chat. Let us know if you actually did this. Did you gift wrap this for them? So, all right. So, Gary, would you have done anything like that? Would you have gift wrapped based on this request?
Well, first off, they don't want to see me wrap anything. I promise you that. If it was Christmas time, I may, if the right holiday song is playing, I may do it. But again, obviously you put it inside the box. I don't think I would gift wrap the box itself. I mean, sometimes people will surprise you and they'll buy from you again if you give them that type of experience. So I probably would.
Josie says, I have gift wrapped a present and I got a great review. So I agree. I probably would have done something just because of the time of year, right? This is more than likely around the Christmas time. This is when I took the snapshot. So, the Hoogs responded. They said that they did. Good on you, guys. That was really cool of you. All right, Gary, here's the next one. In no particular order. This is just a bunch of random things. Okay, this is some Mercari requests. So tell us, Gary, how would you have handled this? LOL, you can literally get one of these for $20 at Walmart. Okay, just based on that alone, what would your response be, Gary?
Then go to Walmart. I mean, here's the thing though. I'm a smart aleck. And I have very little time or tolerance for people in general. And
does that get you in trouble on eBay?
No. I mean, it hasn't so far. I mean, because here's the thing. Sometimes I have to weigh, do I really want this person as my customer? If we step just slightly off of eBay, if I'm selling something on Facebook Marketplace, I've been selling Jeeps lately.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm selling something like that, I mean, every time that, the Jeep, has a flat tire, am I going to get a message from this guy, saying, hey, that Jeep's tire went flat? Great. It's 3 months ago. Rock. I mean, again, do you really want these type of people as your customer? Because you're going to deal with something down the road. Yeah. I mean, so you sell it to them at a discounted price. They get it. They say, oh, this isn't what I wanted, or this isn't in the condition they want. And I just don't like dealing with these types of people. If you want it for $20, go to Walmart. You're the smart one.
Yeah. We got a few examples like that too here in the slides that I'm going to show.
I probably would have just included the address to the nearest Walmart in my response.
There you go. Here's the Google Map direction. Yeah.
Who say they never left feedback? I guess our wrapping wasn't great. Oh, you deserve feedback for sure. Ken says, if it were a decent profit item, I would definitely wrap it. I love wrapping gifts. Going down the slides here. I hate Big Thrift Philly says, I hate when your listing says batteries not included, and then the drop shipper requests batteries to be included. I have not had that one before, but I definitely would not do that. I take batteries out on purpose because I don't have the battery stickers to put on the box, one. Two, I don't want them to corrode in the item itself, right? Especially while it's sitting in the shelf on inventory, all right? Casey's here. What's up, Carolina Thrifter? How are you, my friend? Joseph Somera. That's a new name, buddy. Thanks for coming out and joining us tonight. We do appreciate it. And Steve-O Resells is here. What's up, Adam, Evan, and Gary? We're doing great, buddy. Thanks for joining us tonight. Just one last one. Dan in Demand. Is that Art?
He changed his name, yeah.
I didn't know you changed your name, buddy. Okay, Dan in Demand.
I like it.
Yeah, it's cool. All right, so let's go to the next one, shall we? Evan, this one's for you. All right, so it says, okay, this is just how would you react type of thing.
Oh boy.
I'm sad. I love the jar, but I'm sad that it's as small as it is. I really was looking for a cool old medical jar to put my placenta
I was reading that
as
right.
a wet
Okay.
specimen.
That's
But this is a little too small, so I'm not sure what I can use it for now. Like, how do you even respond to that?
Maybe you can use it for your appendix. Question mark?
You never know when that'll come up. Yeah.
That's brilliant. Like, I don't respond. Like, this to me gets zero response whatsoever. And because I'm not as smart alecky as you are, Evan and Gary.
Crazy.
Well, what are you supposed to do about it? I mean, make it bigger. I mean, it's too small.
It makes me wonder, why do people even feel the need to share that type of information to begin with, right?
There are lonely people out there, Adam.
All right, that has to be a joke, right? That has to be a joke. All right, so let's go to the next one. I asked nicely for you to give me feedback. You suck. I will never buy from you again. This makes you self-destructive in making money. You
look at the username.
I was just about to say that. I was just about to say they're a pastor.
The username is Pastor Pray. So
maybe you should.
Okay, first off, number one, do you guys religiously do your own feedback to your buyers?
No, it's set to when I receive it, it automatically gives them.
Yep.
It automatically does like what?
It rotates through like 5 different feedbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so if you got this response, what would your reaction be? Would you feel the need to reply to them or just ignore it?
I would just reply back that once you leave feedback will be given.
Okay.
And it
And
does it automatically for me. So,
So, okay, that's good. You've got it automatically set up, so you wouldn't necessarily be putting yourself in a situation like this. But just in general, again, I thought that was funny.
I also wonder why somebody with, at the time that this is written, almost 1,200 feedback score is out there pushing so hard for one. I mean, you bully all your customers into feedback. I mean, and didn't even spell nicely, right?
Yeah. Can you go to eBay for Business and like ban them? I guess you just have to block them, right? Anyway,
yeah, I'd point out their use of quotes is wrong. I mean,
need spell check on that. And the quotes around never.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, same thing.
All right, here's the next one. Hi, I dropped my cell phone while looking at these pants. I had no intention of buying them, but when my phone hit the floor, it purchased and paid for these all in a fluke. Would you please refund my money? All right, Evan, how would you respond?
I mean, if it's before I ship them, you pretty much have to, because once they get them, they're going to return them anyway.
Okay, if you've already shipped it, what is your reply?
Once you get it, you can return it.
Gary?
Yeah, same. And they're the unfortunate victim of a 1 in a million chance of that actually occurring. I mean, seriously, it's like I've dropped my phone before. I've never bought anything on Amazon. You know, that's easy to do.
All right, so I actually captured the guy's response to this in a different one, and this is it right here. It said, "You're not going to believe this. While trying to cancel your order, I tripped and smashed my face against the keyboard. I'm fine, don't worry. But against all odds, the item was picked from my inventory, packed, and shipped all in one whirlwind. No worries, though. I have free returns. So just mark ordered by mistake when you get them. Happy Thanksgiving."
Wow.
I thought that was a genius reply. It was still telling them, don't worry, we have returns, but in the same breath, they're honestly telling them just how silly their original comment doesn't make sense, right? Oh man, that's great. All right, here we go. Here's another one. Okay, this is an ugly Christmas sweater feedback. I am not at all happy with this sweater that you state that it is to be an ugly sweater, yet everyone I show it to feels as I do that this is most certainly not an ugly sweater. and that it is a cute sweater. And so I feel as I can't read this with a straight face. I feel as though I was ripped off, as this was supposed to be for a contest. I was entering for an ugly sweater contest at my church. I want something done about this, as there is now no time for me to get another sweater. I am highly upset about this. Yo, let it fly. Who's got the worst sarcastic response ever?
Could you imagine your world rising and falling on the fact that you're in an ugly Christmas sweater contest at church? I mean, really? So,
I mean, how about the sheer fact that this person has no concept of the phrase ugly Christmas sweater? Yeah. Did they not see it themselves
You
before
see
they
the pictures,
purchased
yeah.
it? If they thought it was cute and not ugly, why did they buy it? Right?
right?
Do you feel that if you don't work with this person, that this is a negative feedback coming?
Oh, absolutely.
It will be. 'Cause I think they're off balance. I think folks like this aren't playing with a full deck of cards. I mean, so yeah, I'm
Oh my
with
gosh.
Evan. Just grant the return. Get whatever. You'll sell it to somebody else who's sane.
I mean, it's a cute sweater. Why wouldn't you sell it?
Here's
Right,
the
exactly.
thing. Now, depending on when Christmas is and when they bought this and when you get it back, this may not sell again, right? Like, this is completely buyer remorse, if in my opinion, right? If
Mhm.
you have free returns, would you? And okay, let's think about this the legitimate way. This is going to be a return, right? When you get it back, are you going to refund their shipping costs that they initially paid? Yes or no?
I do free shipping, so I can't answer that.
You can. If it wasn't free shipping, would you refund the original shipping cost based on the comment like this?
Probably so, because eBay will, if it's eBay will probably make you do it anyway.
Yeah.
Mm,
Or make them ship it on their own dime,
Yeah.
So ship it back on their own dime. Yeah, I mean, because that's ridiculous. I mean, at some point, reason and logic has to come into things, right?
right.
So
So
yeah.
here's what I feel would happen, and it's not that far fetched. Based on this guy's comment, they're going to open a return request and choose item not as described, right?
Mhm.
Which is an automatic return approval, which means that you're expected to refund everything back to them, right? Personally, I would reduce the refund amount by the original shipping cost and tell
Yeah.
them they chose the wrong choice and are taking advantage of eBay's return process.
Mhm.
That's what I would do. Do y'all have any conscious feelings against what I was just saying just then? Would y'all do it differently, or y'all think I'm doing the wrong thing by doing it that way?
I'd do the same thing as long as eBay had your back.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Okay, cool, good deal. Well, we got Philly Flipper up in here. Evan is ranting way too much today. That's hilarious. He's not known to rant, I know. All right, so here's a new one right here. This is the feedback. Purchased Ralph Lauren sweater from, and I just received it. Thank you so much for the card. By the way, I think you may have sent me the wrong item, as I purchased a gray sweater and what arrived was a black one. I'm not experienced with eBay and I'm not sure. Thank you for your time, John. I just thought this was hilarious to share here, because isn't this what like almost all all the refunds start this way? All returns basically start this way, does it not? Black
Absolutely.
here, black there, black written there, black written right there.
Mhm.
Anyway, what's your response to this guy, guys? How would you
So,
respond to this?
honestly, looking at that picture, I may be colorblind, but it looks great to me.
Yeah, I was thinking
So
the
if
same
I'm
thing.
clicking through ordering just buy now, I may not read it.
Really? You would find yourself in those situations that we fuss
Well, I would
about
go,
our customers where they don't read the description.
true, but for me, I would go back and read the description before I returned it and say, well, they did say it was black, not gray, so I probably wouldn't return it. I just eat it because it was my fault.
Okay. Well, you're not a lot of customers would do that. Gary, you agree, or would you handle it differently?
We've all been surely we've all bought something by mistake or not read the description as thoroughly as we probably should have when we bought something. So in this case, because the picture, I'm with Evan, it looks gray in the picture. And if I'm just going by the visual, I've already got it locked into my head, and I may be looking at it on a mobile phone or something like that too.
Right.
And I may be going, oh, cool, gray sweaters, my size, scroll, pay, done, like that. And I may not have read the entire thing. I may
Wow,
grant them a
y'all
little bit
are
of grace.
surprising me, giving the benefit of the doubt to the customer on this one. Okay.
Or you
Now,
may
how-
drop your phone and order it by accident. I mean,
That's
it
right.
happens.
It could be a fluke.
You never know
Most
what's going to
certainly.
happen.
Hey, I want to take a second real quick and congratulate Philly Flipper. Jennifer Hayes says that Philly Flipper just hit 5K on YouTube.
Nice
So,
job, Paul.
Awesome. Congratulations to you, Paul. That's excellent, dude. 5K. Huge win. Go for the 20K by the end of the year, buddy. You got this. I wish you the best. I really do.
Absolutely.
All right. Let's see. I think there might be one more. Let's see. Yep, there's one more. Okay, here we go. I'm not sharing my screen, though. All right. You have a good seller rating. What if I send you $60 now, you ship, and I send the other $60 after? I will not rip you off. Okay, I think I know your answer on this one, guys. If this is anything other than, go to somewhere else, then lose, go somewhere. That's just ridiculous. Okay, customers that say stuff like this, zero response, you reply, you let it be. What do you do? Are you going to try to save this sell by telling them no, you won't do that? What are you going to do? Gary, you're first.
How about I send them half the item and then and then the other half after they pay the other half? Now, I don't even think I respond. I mean, I think that this is ridiculous. I mean,
you think they're just toying with you?
I think they're, anytime someone assures you they will not rip you off, they're probably going to rip you off.
They're probably going to rip you off.
So,
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. They're probably going to rip you off if they feel the need to say, I'm not going to rip you off. They're going to rip you off.
Right. Exactly.
All right. Well, let's take just a small turn of events real quick. We're going to come back to this in a minute, but I wanted to take a moment to pick the $50 winner for my 950 subscriber milestone. I hit 950 and 1,000 all in 1 week, and it was the week right after Christmas. So I am very appreciative of everyone who is subscribed. And so in that video that I put out on January 1st, I put it nowhere in the beginning of the video or even in the title. You had to legitimately watch the video to the end to learn that I was going to do a giveaway. So what I did was I said in the comment below, if you say Happy New Year, I'm going to put you in a random comment picker, and we're going to give away $50. So we're going to do that right now. And I want to do it live on the air so that everyone sees, and there's witnesses, and there's no funny business going on. You don't have to be present to win. When the random comment picker chooses you, I'll reply to your comment below and let you know you're the winner, and to reach out to me on Instagram. And that's how we'll work out the giveaway, right? So let's do this, shall we? Let's grab this URL right here. Go to the random comment picker site. Paste it. We don't want duplicates. Include replies to comments. Don't include replies because more than likely they're just my replies saying thank you. And there's a spot I'm supposed to be able to type in. Here we go. Filter comments based on specific text. Happy New Year. All right, guys. The window closed as soon as this show started. So there's no going out. I can't legitimately go out there and stop you now. So let's get YouTube comments. I will say, though, I don't know what happened today around 4 o'clock, but I started getting YouTube notifications of lots of people adding comments to this video. And between 4 and 4:30 this afternoon, it doubled in the number of comments. I will say this. I looked into this because I didn't want a spammer or something like that, a robot, things like that, right? I wanted to weed them out if that was what was happening. So I looked at each one of these comments, and they came from what I best can tell are legit accounts. So I thank everyone who participated and who played. I do have a really good feeling that none of these are robots or spammers or anything like that. And the only way they would have known anyway is if they actually watched to the end of the video and knew what to do. So that's my disclaimer right there. I did my best to make sure there's no bots in here. All right, so here we go. We got the YouTube comments pulled, 54 unique comments. Here we go. Hold your breath, everybody. One winner, and the winner is Jack Walker. Awesome. Thanks. Happy New Year. All right, Jack, appreciate you being a YouTube commenter on the video. I hope you're a subscriber. I really do, although it wasn't part of the rules that you had to subscribe in order to win. But Jack Walker, I will put a reply to your comment in order to direct you on how to receive your money. So that's it. I'm going to do $1,000, not $1,000. Holy crap.
Well,
I'm going to do a $50 1,000 subscriber giveaway in the next week or two. I want to put a little bit of time between it just to, just to have a little bit more fun with it. But I appreciate everybody for participating in that. All right. So Jack Walker, I'll reach out to you after the show. Congratulations, buddy. All right. So back to our thoughts and comments. Let's talk about this. Mercari feedback versus eBay feedback versus Facebook feedback. Those are the three platforms I'm on the most. Gary, are you on a different platform I didn't notate? I didn't talk about?
Mm-mm.
Evan, are you on a different platform that I didn't talk about? Poshmark or something like that?
I cross-post to Poshmark, but very few sales there. So
okay, so let's talk about let's just narrow it down to
I'll go
eBay and Facebook and Mercari. Do you think that feedback is more important on one of those platforms than the others?
Mercari for sure.
Okay.
You don't get paid until you get rated, or you have to wait. What is it? 5 days, 3 days?
Do you? Okay, I got you there. I didn't even think about that, but that's a very good point. That Mercari mandates rating, even if you don't do it, they do it for you, right?
Which I kind of like.
Why?
I don't really know. No, I
don't know how to explain that one, didn't I?
You did. No, it's. I feel like you actually get a response from your customer. You get that satisfaction of knowing whether you satisfied them, made them happy, and completed your job, I guess.
Okay, I like that. I do, and it's a 5-star rating if it's from Mercari, no matter what. I just need to notate that's Paige. That's my wife. You might want to rethink that $1,000. I feel like we should have had this conversation. Agreed. A little bit of a tongue slip there. Sorry about that. Very dangerous, Dan says. Yeah, it truly is. I'm a Nigerian prince. Give me your bank info and I'll send you $26 million. That's excellent. All right, Angelo, thanks for showing up tonight. I didn't say hello to you, so thank you. Oh, look, Jack Walker's in the show. Did I just win? Yes, sir, you did. Since you are here, send me a DM on Instagram and we'll work out the details on how to get you your winnings, friend. All right? I appreciate you. Thank you. And if you're not on Instagram, then email me at BaldyPal@gmail.com. How about that? Oh, he might have just did that because I just got an Instagram notification. Anyway, congratulations, Jack Walker. That's right. Congratulations. Gary, we once had a conversation in depth about the feedback on eBay. Mm-hmm. And our conversation was around the fact that you didn't think that it was as important. And I thought it was highly important, right? Mm-hmm. You thought that it's important to get to a certain level, but then once you get there, it's not as important anymore. Talk about that for a little bit.
So I think that there's this sort of general, yes, I don't want to use the word anxiety, but I guess that's kind of what it is. For folks that are looking at buying your products, I think for some people, they require a certain feedback score, and they feel comfortable whenever you're at that level. I think anything under 100, it tends to get a little bit iffy. Mm-hmm. I think that if you are under 500, there's still a little bit of apprehension. But I think once you get past the 500 mark, people generally see that as a high number. And I think they're willing to let some things go, even a lower feedback score, like the percentage wise. So I think that's where, we were sort of steering that, is that once you get to certain milestones, while your number isn't as important, I don't think. I think your percentage obviously still is,
Right.
and that matters more because if you have 1,600 transactions, that you have ratings for, versus somebody who has 100,000. Let's say that 100,000 they have a 94%, but you have 100%. What matters more there? And that's where I think that people, start focusing at that point. Once they get past the score number in their head, they go into the percentage part, and that's what they focus on.
Okay, that's a really good point. Evan, do you by chance have any advice, I guess, for new resellers on how they can help increase their feedback faster?
You can actually buy stuff from eBay, and those sellers will leave you feedback. So, if you're going to order from like Amazon anyway, order it from eBay if it's the same price. Build up that feedback. You can sell smaller items that sell quick, especially video games. A lot of people were selling. I saw selling baseball cards when they first started, and selling stuff for 25 cents a pop, putting them in a stamped envelope. Charge 50 cents for shipping, just to build up that feedback. To me, it wasn't that important, but a lot of people do it that way.
That's a really, really good piece of advice. I agree. That is something I did as well. I did between eBay and Amazon. I think Amazon has a better return situation, right? Like if like you ordered it and something didn't work out, it's easier to return on Amazon, right? So personally, I would do it for the small things. Like if I needed an extended microphone cable or something, I definitely would buy it on eBay versus Amazon. If I just wanted to get a new T-shirt, I'd buy it off of eBay instead of Amazon. But if I needed to buy a new $250 Bluetooth Bose speaker or something like that, I'm personally a little bit more weary in those situations. Is there a threshold that you personally choose a different platform over eBay?
I'm probably the same, especially like an electronic or something like that. They can go bad all the time. But probably anything over, I don't know, maybe 100, 150 bucks. Unless
Okay.
it's like a collectible or something.
Okay, so you as the buyer in this situation, and let's say you've looked at Amazon and it's 350 bucks, but then you look at eBay and you find it brand new for 250 plus like $10 in shipping, so 260. What is your thought process before you spend that money? What are you looking at?
That's when I'm going to go look at that feedback. And if they've got 10,000 feedback and they're shipping from the United States, and I go through and see that they're 98% positive, I'm going to feel pretty, and they offer free returns, I'm going to feel pretty confident about ordering that for them.
Gary, would you agree?
Yeah, I'd agree. Now, I've bought all kinds of things on eBay of different dollar values. I've never really had anything that was a really bad transaction. I mean, again, I think there's so many safeguards that are now in place with eBay. It's a little bit harder to be that scammer as it was maybe 10 years ago. So, and at the same time, again, that feedback score has to mean something. And as Evan alluded to, you go in and look at what their feedback is and see they're shipping on time, they're in the US. You feel a lot more confident about it, because I'd want somebody to feel confident about something I'm selling if it's a high dollar amount too.
Right.
So it's kind of like I have to give it back if they're giving it to me. So
yeah, okay, I agree with you. So to me, I find myself looking at feedback if it's anything over $100. If they don't have 100% score, I go and I read, well, what was the negative feedback?
Right.
Let's say the negative feedback was something like one of those ridiculous customers who was reviewing the product in the feedback versus an illegitimate or reviewing the carrier service, in the feedback and not the actual person. That doesn't weigh much on me. But if there's like one out of 10,000 that the item never came in the mail, or they even go so far as to say, no communication from seller, something like that, that has me scratching my head. Those type of comments.
Yeah. Well, how about if you flip it as the seller? How often do you look at a buyer's feedback? If you're selling something for $600 and you get an offer from a zero feedback buyer of $500,
I definitely look at buyer feedback in that exact type of situation. If it's an offer of less than $100, I'll still, I kind of like ingrained in me to look at their name with the score beside it, just to glance. If nothing else, just to glance, right? And if that 0 is there, I'm always cautious.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always cautious.
Yep.
Do you feel that same way, Evan? Are you cautious?
It kind of goes back to what Gary said. There are a lot of protections for he said buyers, but sellers as well.
Mm-hmm.
If it's an item that it kind of depends on the situation. Once again, if it's an item I've been sitting on for a while, I may let it go and take that chance. If it's not going to cost me a lot to ship it, once again, I may let it go and take that chance.
How about the fact that it's an offer from a 0 feedback buyer, and eBay has this whole, they have so many days to pay anyway.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Would that come into consideration, even though it's a good offer? Would you choose potentially to not accept it just because you think that there's a really good chance they're not going to actually pay?
Probably not, because I've got buyers. I've got one right now with like 5,000 feedback. I'm waiting on a payment from. It's been 4 days. So
you think they wouldn't know what eBay was at this point, right?
Right, exactly.
Ken's got a question. Let's look at it real quick. Is there a secret besides just good customer service to getting buyers to leave positive feedback? Good question, Kim. What do you think, Gary? Is there any other secret other than just great customer service?
I mean, I haven't personally employed these things. Again, for me, the feedback score, like the actual number, is not as relevant to me anymore as the percentages. But having your items packaged well, sometimes I do that. But the parts that I don't leave candy in my packages, notes, thank you cards, business cards. Sometimes people have this thing, it's a 5% coupon code off your next purchase.
Yeah.
I think with feedback, I just think it's an extra step that is required of the buyer, and it's something that people generally aren't going to do. eBay may gently remind them to do it, but there's nothing requiring them to do it. Adam, you and I have had this discussion before, that we think that anything over 30 days, if there hasn't been a return and no feedback, should automatically be granted a positive feedback and move on, and that counts to your score. I don't know why it's not like that. I mean, obviously you're past the return window. There's been no notes of any sort, so why wouldn't that be the rule? I don't know. So yeah.
That's
eBay,
to
if you're
Evan's point.
listening
That's
to
what
this.
Mercari does, but at the $5 5-day window, and that is his long. That's like, Gary, your example's dead on, but on the Mercari side, it's 5 days.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
and
in
eBay,
a lot of ways, I feel like eBay could learn from Mercari's processes.
And I'm about to go. This is Rants and Raves, right? The show.
Go for it.
eBay is the OG of this, right? Yeah. They should be the ones trailblazing this sort of thing, not a startup, essentially, of what Mercari is, the last few years or whatnot. eBay should be the ones that are dictating how the online sales in the marketplace go for auction type things. Mm-hmm. And the feedback thing is just an example of that.
Yep. Agreed. What do you think, Evan? Same thing? Differently?
Pretty much. As far as them blazing the trail, I think they're following Amazon's footsteps more than they are helping out, sellers like us.
Yeah.
They're trying to be more Amazon-like than they let the small guys go to Mercari, and I don't think it bothers them.
Right.
Good point.
Angelo says, thanking Ken for the good question. I got over 2,000 sales, but only 350 feedback. Lately, I put in my listings that I won't leave feedback unless they do, but it hasn't increased feedback results. So, wow, Angelo, you put it in the listing itself. Okay, that's different take. I don't believe I've seen that. I used to, early on, like before the 500 feedback mark, I would go through my feedback and see if they've left me feedback, and then reply back to them like in the 30, 60, 90 day window and ask them, hey, I don't necessarily open the door and say, was there ever anything wrong? I just say, thank you for your purchase. I do appreciate it. If you could leave me some feedback, that would be, greatly appreciated. Mm-hmm. But it would be short, sweet, simple. And then I do say at the very end, If it's negative, let's talk about it. Something simple like that. Philly Flipper. Sorry, stepped away for a few. Thanks everyone for the congrats. You're very welcome, buddy. And then I missed Mike. Mike stepped in here for just a second. Yinzer Picker. Hope everyone's having a great night. Stop by to say hi. I'm so glad that you did. They have a show at 9 o'clock, and I think it's going to be on the Pittsburgh Picker channel, guys. All right. We got a question here from Robert. Do you think eBay will ever go to instant payment for offers? Why make the offer if you're not going to pay? Evan, what do you think?
The rumor is it's coming. Of course, that rumor has been around for a couple years now.
Yeah.
But supposedly it's on the way. I hope they do. They need to.
You would think that to Gary's point, it should have already been there.
Oh, 100%.
Right?
Bingo.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, the thing, who loses? eBay loses money by not having the product sell.
That's
true.
true.
Not getting paid. Why, if you're a business owner at eBay, why would you not want extra revenue coming through the door? I wonder how many dollars in lost revenue they have from offers not being paid for. And someone needs to put that in front of an exec and say, hey, we're losing X number of millions of dollars from this. And they would jump on it like this. So
look at you and your analytical brain.
I'm telling you, man. I mean, from where we work, right? I mean, if there was a hole that big, it would be fixed.
It would be filled already.
Someone would notice that on the sheet. So
I want to say hey to Misha Renee. Thanks for stopping by, girl. Appreciate you. Let's see. Philly Flipper says they're supposed to go to that later this year. Okay. Inside scoop. Angelo, eBay has a bunch of ex-Walmart execs that will drive it into the ground. Are they talking about the offers thing? Yeah, I think they are. Angelo's talking about, driving it into the ground, that they need to have the auto payment for the offers. And Valley of the Flips. I think that's a new name for us. What's going on, fellas? Hope you're doing well. We are, and thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you. Okay, guys. So that's all we got on the topic of customer feedback, but we're going to try a new game for everybody. So each of us has gone to our eBay store and we've looked for an item that we've recently sold. And what we're going to do is we're going to play a little game of charades in order to try to get the other two to try to guess what it is that we sold. Now, it's charades. Remember that. So if you're listening to the audio only version of this, sorry about this part of the show. You might want to come check out the show on the YouTube channel because it's great and it's fun hanging out. But I'll go first to give them time to think of how they're going to do this. And I picked an easy one just to give you a taste as to what the show is going to be like. Okay, guys, are you ready? Charades. Ready? Here we go.
Camera.
With a camera lens.
That's it. Camera lens.
Okay.
All right. Just that easy, right?
All right.
Too easy? All right. Who wants to go next? Gary or Evan?
I'll give you one.
All right, Evan.
I've got a prop handy. Can I use a prop?
In charades? Are props allowed in charades? I don't know.
No idea.
I don't think they are. Evan, no props.
Okay, no props.
No props.
Then I have no idea how to act this out.
Okay. Can opener.
Very good.
Wow, okay, yeah. Wow.
All right. That was
Black & Decker Space Maker. Sold 2 last week.
excellent. Oh, 2 of them?
Yeah.
How did you even get 2 of them? Like, did you have them for inventory for a while?
No, my mom and stepdad are they're like Black & Decker Space Maker can opener magnets. They literally found 2 in 2 thrift stores last week.
Lucky you. Lucky you. All right, Gary, what you got? You got one?
Yeah, let's try this. All right.
All right. A remote control.
Got it.
All right.
Pretty easy.
We all picked
Pretty
easy
easy.
ones.
So
We all
we
picked
got
easy
easy
ones,
round
okay.
1 out of the way.
Maybe that's just round 1. I don't have another one prepped for the game. So we'll just, how about we just end it at that? All right. I appreciate everybody stopping by tonight and hanging out with us for the past hour talking about customer feedback. Leave us a comment below. How do you feel if you're rewatching this? How do you feel about customer feedback and its importance on any platform, whether it be eBay, Facebook Marketplace, Mercari, Poshmark, any of them whatsoever? I really, really would like to hear what your thoughts are on that. So if you haven't subscribed to either of these two guys, I may have forgotten to put their link in the description below, but I will update this video with their links. So y'all make sure to go on out to Dixie Overland for Gary and Flippy McFlipperson for Evan. And guys, any closing remarks? Any last minute thoughts? What do y'all got going on in your channel? You got anything you want to talk about?
Nothing too exciting. Same old, same old. Just starting the new year off right.
What is Philly? What are you and Philly talking about over here?
In my last Blood Soul video, I got a bunch of stuff for different things, and one of the ghost can apples were one of it. So
yeah, and he called it. Yep, yeah. Got them for free. You do get stuff for free. You've got a guy who brings you boots, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah. He's worked for I can't say who he works for, but it's a government agency.
Okay.
And they have to spend a certain amount of their budget or they lose it. So
oh my gosh, that don't not get me started on the whole use it or lose it budget conversation. That's a completely different rant for another day. All right. And also Victoria, I think that's a new name. Thank you for joining us tonight. I love it when they tell me why they bought the item. That's really good. I mean, if it's a good story, I hope. Right?
I had a good story like that one time. I sold an old military sweater, and this woman had told me about how her father or grandfather had served in World War II. And so that was cool. And she ended up buying another one off of me when I found it. She says that, she likes those types of sweaters because it reminded her of her dad or her grandfather, one of the two. Yeah. So that was cool. Yeah.
That is really good.
Yeah.
Makes you think that if you found another one, if like she was a recent customer, you could let her know. I found another one.
Yep.
Gary, anything going on with Dixie Overland we need to know about?
We're going to have some really, really cool videos coming out here soon. There's one that I've been delaying putting out there, and it's sort of in very raw footage. So it's kind of when I was doing it in the early days. So it's kind of like the lost footage. It was a trip that we took to North Carolina and all along the Atlantic coast. So that's going to be pretty cool. And then just our general, things when it comes to Jeeps and all that. I'm going to Florida Jeep Jam in May. So I plan to cover that entire show for all 4 days there, which includes driving on the beach, also off-road trails and all this other stuff. So it should be really, really rad. I'm looking forward to it.
That's awesome, man. Is any of that in Daytona or anything? What?
That one's actually in Panama City Beach.
Okay, cool. Good deal,
that
man.
One's in Panama City Beach. Now, I may go to Jeep Beach next year, which is the one in Daytona. That's sort of the big Jeep show on the East Coast. So, in that one, it's massive. Absolutely.
Yeah, massive. It is. All right, guys. Thanks again for coming out and helping me host this show tonight, talking about customer feedback. Thanks to everybody who's in the chat participating. I really do appreciate you. Y'all have a great night. We'll see you on the next one. Y'all stay safe out there. Bye-bye.
All right. Take care, everybody.